Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So today was a great day, a really good day inside the Discord. I'll go over what we took, but when it comes to SPY, this is where we ended up closing at yesterday. We actually ended up closing right down here 9:30 or not 9:30 at the close down in here at the 50 SMA. Key pivot point today off the open. You can see what happened. I mean, we ended up gapping up a bit, and the market was bullish today. 10 SMA is above the 50. The 50 is curling up, and that means we're in a bullish market. Yesterday wasn't entirely bullish because the 50 SMA was sloped down. It's hard to see, but I went over in my video yesterday. But once that 50 turned down yesterday, market's neutral. That 50 has to be curling up or flat for it to be a trending market. So right off open today, bias was upside because 30-minute chart got the trend. We're bullish on the 30-minute here, and I'm focused on the long side. So when we dip down to the 0DT chart to get our entry point, very simple. Off of open, this is what we looked like. Calls were crossing right here. This is where I ended up going long at, and I actually stopped break even on this. I was up like 40 something points, and my TPs, especially in a trending market, are over 50. And once it pulled back a little bit, I ended up getting out break even just because I was already up around like my TP, pretty much right at my TP. So I didn't feel like letting that go red. And of course, I mean, regarding the system, you were able to stay in this trade. I didn't. I just didn't want to flip right on the trade. But if you did trail the 10 SMA, you would have hit your 50 points on this next leg right here, and you would have took a winning trade on that. And then it continued to hold the 10 SMA all the way up pretty much the entire day up until 11:30 here, and then we finally closed below it at 11:45. And that's where your trailing stop would pretty much hit. But I mean, by that time all the way up in here, you might as well just sell it all. But yeah, that's what we did today for SPY. It was a good cross. I just didn't end up hitting my TP before it came back to my entry point. If you took ES 100%, you were up probably over 10 points on the initial move. I know ES was a lot stronger than NQ, but I always trade NQ like 90% of the time. And that's what ended up happening on SPY today. There was no other entry points to take. I mean, we ended up pulling back, we even hit the 50, and then it just chopped around the rest of the day. So after a big drastic move like that, there's really not going to be any other entry points of the day in a bullish market. I mean, yes, you could buy this dip to the 50, but once we actually got the dip to the 50, it's already getting really late in the day. And also, this 50 is like sloped up super aggressively in a weird way where this wouldn't be a dip I'm buying. I don't know, it just looks very weird. I don't know how to explain it, but if you guys trade the system, you guys watch these charts a while, you pretty much know what I'm talking about. It's very unnatural looking. So like when this happens, I'm not buying this 50 dip anyways. I mean, you probably could have caught a little bit of points, but I mean, nothing too crazy. That's like 30% on the contracts, and then you would have probably stopped out a little bit in profit once we did lose the 50. But that wasn't something I was taking. I was only interested in this cross here off of open. And yeah, my entry was a little late though. I'm pretty sure if I got if I entered a little bit earlier, probably would have hit my 50 points, but I entered, I think, at 9:57. That was like on this candle, so it was a little extended, didn't really get any pullback, but it did go pretty much straight vertical from my entry point, which was good. But then again, I stopped break even at it on this pullback. But yeah, that's what we did in SPY. We ended up catching another banger option trade. You guys know, if you guys watched yesterday's video, 300, like 50% on a hood. Today, 150% or 160% on OKLO. This actually ended up running, I think, probably like 350 to 400%, but pretty simple trade. I gave this right off the open, right down in here, the dip to the 50. That's where I was buying at, and as soon as I saw this off of open, I'm like, I'm getting in this. We got in these contracts at 120 a piece. These are actually the wrong ones. My bad. These are supposed to be the 12th. So yeah, these are the exact contracts I traded. You can see. We ended up getting this dip to the 50 right off of open. It bounced a little bit. I didn't enter right off of open. It was a few minutes in where I got the entry at, but I'm going to pull it up in the Discord to see where I got the entry. Yeah, so 3 minutes in, we started getting a little wick off the 50. I got in 120 on these contracts, which is a banger fill. Actually, I didn't even realize how close it was to the 50 we got in these, but yeah, 120 was literally, look at the bottom. I mean, these went to 108, but I didn't get in until it bounced a little bit, so yeah, 120 was the fill I got, and then I ended up selling on this candle right here just because of how aggressive it was so fast. So I ended up selling all of it for 160% on that move. I mean, very textbook. I mean, look at this pullback, look at the move, just very, very historic type of trade. I mean, you can't really complain with that. And then we hit the 4-hour 50, which is a spot you'd want to be selling at anyways. But Okay, low, man. That was a really, really good setup. All it was me seeing this chart cross right here, 10-1 above the 50. I saw this chart before open today, so it was something I was looking at to see how we'd open up, and we pulled back to the 50 right at open. We opened pretty much right at it, and I'm like, okay, this is a trade I want to take. We're at a key support on the 30-minute 50. That's what this 50 SMA is. This 50 SMA is, it tells you where to buy the dip in the trend. A lot of people don't know where to buy dips, because you hear the saying, just buy the dip, sell the rip, but you don't know exactly where to do that. So this is where the system comes into play, and it's very handy on how to do it, because all you're doing is waiting for a pullback to this blue line, and this is your support. That's gonna be very strong support and trend. So all I did was just see this pull back to the 50. That's our strong support. So I buy the strong support. Stop losses, candle closure below it. Never got the closure below. And look at the move we got. The risk to reward on that trade was insane. Since we got a 120 fill, I mean, we closed below it. Okay, maybe I lose like 20%. But we got 160%. So I mean, that was like a really, really good move on OKLO. And then Hood today, or yesterday, was a really good one. Today, PDD ended up, again, I'm still down on that position. Ended up coming back to almost my break-even point, because I did end up just throwing a few contracts in yesterday for shits and giggles, just in case it did rip. Ended today, which it actually did. It came up to like 0.40 something on the contracts. I mean, I was originally in at 0.70. My new fill is 0.46. So we would need some drastic move tomorrow on PDD for me to get in profit on that and actually get a good trade out of it. But that's kind of more of a done trade for me. I mean, it was pretty much an L. I'm just holding it to 0 because, at this point, there's no point in selling it. So, yeah, those are the main trades for the week. I mean, we caught PDD, which was an L. We actually took SoFi yesterday. I forgot to go over it in yesterday's video. I didn't realize until after I was editing the video, but it was a 10% loss on that. And then Hood was 350%. OKLO 160%. But I mean, can't really complain with those types of days when it comes to options. But we did enter a new swing today. I'm not going to go over it yet, just because I kind of like to just recap the trades that I take, and then once they finish playing out, go over the thought process behind them and whatnot. But yeah, I think I went over this, but coin was another really good one that ended up happening on Tuesday. You can see 10-1 above the 50. Again, all we're doing is playing crosses of the 10, 50 SMA, and we're buying this blue line, which is the major support and trend. So you guys can see what happened. 10-1 above the 50. Very nice move out of it. We pulled back to the 50. This is your key support to buy. The 50 is trending up hard, which is good. This is what you want to see. When the 50 sloped up nice, that makes it even stronger of a support area. When it's flat, it's not as strong. It's still a support, but you more confidence in the trade would be when the 50 is sloped up very nicely. So yeah, we came down to the 50, and then look what happened. We saw another move. I mean, that's like another 100% move. And yeah, I mean, it's the same type of concept on all these charts. You just have to find the ones that are crossing. So I go through my list every day. I have way too many stocks on my watch list, so I don't always pull up every stock. Like for this week, I only had probably like 5 or 6 stocks that I had pulled up. Not really any specific reason for the ones that I chose. It was kind of whatever I saw first. I just picked option contracts for, and just check to see if are we getting a cross right now? Okay, if we're already crossed, where's the 50 at? Are we close to getting a dip to the 50? Maybe that's something I'll keep an eye on for the rest of the day or into tomorrow, if we get like a dip to the 50 SMA on whatever stock I'm watching. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to SPY for tomorrow, pretty simple. So we're gonna get new contracts tomorrow. So if I actually change the contracts really quickly, I just need to change this 2 to a 9, I believe. September 19th is next week's, right? Yeah, so this is what next week's look like. We're probably going to get different ones, though. I would imagine. I don't even know what SPY's at the moment. Let me actually pull it up really quickly. Okay, yeah, so it'll probably be I'd imagine it'll probably be the 660 calls. So it'll be interesting to see what this daily chart looks like, because I wonder if that daily 50, yeah, so the daily 50 we're at right now on it. I just realized these are the monthly contracts we're watching, I think. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because this is a very big pivot in the market. This 50 SMA is a strong resistance area. It's not entirely sloped down too hard, but you can see it did slope down right here and kind of flatten out. But This is our major pivot right now on the weekly chart. We did hit resistance. We had a massive move higher today. I would imagine we're going to see a pullback just because of the gap between this 50 SMA and price. I mean, that's over 100% on the premium from where the 50 is and where the actual price is. So, yeah, I wouldn't be too bullish yet because, again, this daily chart, it's a big spot. So, until this breaks, I'd say I favor more downside first. At least to get a dip to this 50, get some sort of pullback going, because again, this is a major spot on the daily chart. Daily time frame, higher time frame, the bigger the resistance this 50 is. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how we play out tomorrow. But that's what we did today. Very simple day. Break even trade on SPY or futures or whatever you want to call it, and then a really good trade on OKLO. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, join the Discord down below. That's where all these trades are shared. And, I just help you guys learn the system every day. But yeah, I'm out. Peace.